Should we just search romantic comedies on Netflix and then see what we find?
Hello, welcome back. New location. I've stolen my mother's living room because she's at work. Now I know what you're thinking. Where have you been? You're probably not, but basically I was in a car crash, so I've been having some neck problems, so I haven't done anything recently. So here we go, we've got a lot to catch up on. For a start, I have new tattoos, look at that one, still healing. Great, aren't they? Yes. Fantastic. Anyway, let's move swiftly on. Not really a great deal of change. I went to Birmingham Pride last weekend, which was amazing as usual. I will probably do something about that at some point. I'll also have a new car now, so again there'll probably be something along there. But let's get back to films and television. Now, because I haven't really been to the cinema much because of my neck, because of moving on. So let's talk about what we have seen. Okay, so first up is The Rock's latest film. Well, actually, technically it isn't anymore, but Rampage with a really big gorilla in it. It's a really good film. It's not one of those films that's going to make you come out of the cinema feeling like brilliant, or at least for me, that thing I talked about, that weird ass thing. But it's a great action film. It's really good, well put together, and I really enjoyed it. It was really good. It's definitely worth watching. Don't be fooled by the bit at the end before the very bit at the end. I'm trying not to give any spoilers, but the monkey may be dead. Anyway, it's a great film, so definitely want to probably now get on DVD or on Sky, because I don't think it's going to be out at the cinema anymore. If you can find it though, worth a watch. So, definitely gets, I'm going to give that a 5 out of 5 just for pure viewing pleasure. It's just a good, typical Rock sort of action film, so all good. So it's also hay fever season, so I'm going to be totally So moving away from that, on to our next film. Obviously Avengers Infinity War has now been out. That has just pretty much smashed everything in its way. It does not disappoint. The hype is definitely worth it. If you haven't seen it yet, what cave have you been living in? It is fantastic. And if you've watched the trailer, you will think that certain people are in certain places and certain things happen if you haven't seen the film yet. And it's very misleading, I can tell you that, because some of the things that you think are happening in the trailer aren't actually happening, and some of the things that you think are happening are far, far worse. But it is brilliant. Again, it's a Marvel film, so it stays with the end credits, because there will be something extra. But it certainly does not disappoint. It's just an absolute amazing film, and if you've not been to see it yet, you've got to go and see it, because it's just phenomenal. I've seen it, I think 4 times, and it just didn't disappoint each time. So it was really good. I'm trying to think what else I've seen, because it's been that long. Because I know there's something else that I have seen. Oh yes. One film I did see was one called Breaking In. Now, I hadn't even heard of this film. I just saw it on the internet when I was looking for things to go and see, and I looked at the trailer, thought it was interesting. It's kind of like Panic Room. It's not quite as good as Panic Room with Jodie Foster, because that is just an amazing film. In fact, we'll use that as our classic film, Panic Room. What a film with Jodie Foster. You should definitely go and see that, because it's brilliant. Well, not go and see it, but you should, if you haven't seen it on a DVD or anything, then find it and watch it, because it is a brilliant film. So yeah, Panic Room is going to be our thumbs up classic film for today, because it's just brilliant. It's Jodie Foster. Well, who doesn't love Jodie Foster? So yeah, definitely go and watch that, because that's brilliant. Anyway, getting back to what's been on at the cinema and this film. Now basically this is a mum and her kids. She goes to her father's house, who has passed away, and it turns out that there is something in the house which somebody wants to get, and it has got a massive security system. Anyway, she ends up getting locked out. Her kids are inside with some very, very unpleasant individuals, shall we say. And she basically then has to, you know, try and figure out what to do, and the whole thing ensues. And it's very well done. You know, it's one of these films that could have been really tacky. It's not particularly. You know, it's quite nice because of that, and it's definitely worth watching. You know, because you see like this mum go from sort of like despair to now you've just pissed me right off. Excuse me. So you basically just pissed me right off, and yeah, it's just a really nice. It's just a good film. You know, it's like I say, it's not one that I'd really seen publicised that much or anything like that. And I think that's a shame because I think more people should have gone to see it. The other day when I checked, it was still out at the cinema. I don't know if it still is now, but it's certainly one to look out for. If you can see it at the cinema, go. If not, then don't bother. And my sister's here, so I'm going to have to stop. Okay, bye-bye. I noticed a small, tiny, hardly noticeable continuity problem with this video. But anyway, what we were talking about was the film Breaking In, which, as I was saying, I thought was actually really, really good. So yeah, it's just one to go and watch. It is still just about out of the cinema in some places, if you can see it. I know it's not on, I don't think, in my local one, but I think it might be at one of the others, because there's a couple. So yes, something to look at. Anyway, let's move swiftly on, because we kind of covered that before everything changed. To Amy Schumer and I Feel Pretty. Now, I'm not particularly a big Amy Schumer fan, but I did quite like this film. I saw the trailer and thought it looked quite funny. The overall film wasn't as funny as I was expecting it to be or hoping to be, but it does send out quite a nice little message about being yourself and not to worry too much about certain things. It's also got some nice comedy in it, some really good funny bits. And like the whole way it's all planned out is quite good. So yeah, if you want sort of a bit of light-hearted comedy with a nice huggable message at the end of it, then this is the one for you. You know, this is, I guess, what some would define as a chick flick. Apparently this is like a thing, but you know, I've never really paid much attention to that because I like them, so it's fine. And last time I checked, I wasn't a chick, although I am getting boobs, so I've got to lose weight. Oh, but that's a whole other story. But no, as I was saying, it is really quite funny, and it does have some really, really good funny bits, and like the whole, like, the way the story is, and the fact that she doesn't think people recognise her, even though she looks completely identical, is absolutely funny. And it's just got some really good funny bits. So definitely go and watch that. Now, just to finish off, I'll be talking next week about Solo Star Wars Story, because I'm off to see that shortly. So I've got an itch. And you know, some of the bits and bobs that I've watched, and probably maybe one or two more films. But let's finish this off with Deadpool, the Second Coming. And Deadpool 1 was very good, very funny, very sarcastic. And I'm afraid to say that when it comes to 2, it's even better. There's more humour, more sarcasm, and despite, you know, the sad moments that there are in it, and the things that make you think, it's brilliant. If you haven't seen it yet, what are you waiting for? It's been out for like weeks now. Come on, get your shit together, go and see it. If you liked the first one, you'll love the second one. If you loved the first one, you'll really love the second one. If you didn't like the first one, have you considered medical treatment? Once you've had that, go and see the second one. It is really good, it's really funny. Reynolds does it again, he pulls off just a fantastic, I mean, it's just brilliant. Yes, if you are not a fan of, you know, gratuitous violence, then maybe give this one a miss. But if you like violence with a whole shitload of comedy, with a big slab of sarcasm on top, then this is definitely the film for you. It is epically good, epically funny, epically sarcastic, and it's just totally brilliant. I can't wait to see what they do with the next one. There's got to be another. There's definitely got to be another, because if there isn't, then, well, it's just why would you not? Then again, they do say killed it in two, why make a third? No, gotta make a third. Definitely gonna be a third. It's just really good. You know, it's just the whole thing is, yeah. Go and, if you've not seen it, get out of your chair right now. Right now. Get you up, walk, go. There we go. Well, guess that's it then. Talk to you next week. Bye.